Alex is doing 232.5. Yes. Absolutely perfect. That was spot on. Hard work. Hard work?
Yeah, that was a nice hard one.
Really good though.
That's blood pressure.
That's the best kind, really. So the 227s are going to be hard work, but you can definitely do them though.
I usually find that it's like, because my like squat's not very explosive.
Yeah.
I always find that it's a lot. It also looks a lot harder than it is.
Do you think you could have done any more?
Maybe.
Sorry, more reps.
Oh, I feel like that's like a pushing it. I feel like that might be like 9.5.
Yeah.
So I feel like I could have maybe gotten a one, but I'm not entirely sure.
I think you could have done another 5 kilos, but I don't think you could have done another rep. Do you know what I mean? Like if you didn't do that first, if you like skipped that jump, you'd have probably gone 5 kilos heavier.
Yeah.
But not just going, not after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, you wasn't fired up at all. You just like put your headphones on and did it, which is cool.
I find myself up with it a bit. Just like I have like loud noise music, and that helps me a lot.
Are you listening to like any particular songs or anything, or is it just loud?
It's like I have like different songs that I go with, just like genres, I guess.
Oh, I see.
So squats usually like really heavy metal, like death metal. That usually helps for that.
Yeah.
Deadlifts is like the most just noise music that I've got, just like what's it called? It's sort of like death step or something like that.
Right. Okay. It's like half screamer, half dubstep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like I think it's sort of like the artist from John Hack.
Okay.
So it was like I just find that loud, high BPM helps a lot for that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I find bench really hard to get fired up for. It's like
It's a rest, isn't it?
yeah.
Just sitting down. You're keeping those 20s, 25s, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll keep it. There's a 50 somewhere.
What, a calibrated one?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be strong enough to pick that up and put it on a bar. Maybe from that height.
Get some curls in you.
Yeah. Now this is going to get confusing of knowing exactly what weight it is, with it being a mix of calibrated plates. I see, I can hear it now. So, this is 165. So I need to make it 175. There we go. This would be... I'm filming now. Do you care about being in it? You'll be one of the 3 people that might watch it, to be fair.
I'm gonna say I mostly call on my days or whatever. I just have it. It sounds weird, but I just have it on in the background like while I'm doing like.
That's what a few people have said. I didn't know about this until after I'd done a handful of them. There's this thing called ASMR, which is just like the sound of people doing stuff, and I didn't realise that that's a whole genre of music and of videos and like just noise. Basically, yeah.
It's just like nice to have on in the background while doing stuff. It's just like it's like that or a podcast, and like hearing you ramble on about training is very very nice.
It's the whole accent as well. That's like very monotone. Half of it is just like, I keep thinking I should like prepare something or make a presentation or whatever, and then like, it's just so much extra effort to have to do that. Whereas I'm like, I want to keep a training log, so when I get old and I can't lift, I'll be like, this is actually what not like I used to do this. I can say exactly what I did every session. Well, obviously I'm not very good at actually.
You go to like that person in the gym when you're like 75 and you're like, I did actually used to squat 270.
Yeah.
See it here?
Here is the evidence. Put your VR headset on, and it'll be like a brain chip or something, won't it?
Put on like, what's it called, the new Apple thing, Apple Vision Pro. Or something?
Yes, yeah. But by the time I'm 70, it'll be like an implantable chip or something. You'll get one at birth, and it'll be like your mum and dad have to accept terms and conditions on your behalf. You basically, first 18 years is your trial period. After that, you have to, yeah. But yeah, I kept forgetting to upload the videos, and then I was just running out of storage, and then I was like, right, well, I can't film because I don't have any storage. And then, so there's just a massive gap. But I have noticed, because you can see like trends and stuff, it's just the more I post, each one gets more and more and more. If I do it, it's like starting back from zero.
Yeah. It's because like YouTube algorithm works a lot more with like consistent uploads. So
Right.
like people recommend it a lot more. So you'll find a lot more people like just are recommending it because it's doing something else.
I see.
So if you don't upload for a while, you just then moved out of that pool. So then you don't get as much.
Right.
So then you just get your people who are like dedicated watchers instead.
I see. So that's why it's dropped from like getting close to 1,000 on some of them back down to like 10.
Yeah. Because then it's just like people who are subscribed who are just like, oh, I don't know this.
I see. I didn't.
Opposed to someone who's just like watched whatever other fitness influencer and like, oh, nice like hour and a half video, I'll put that.
Yeah. I did. Someone else told me that I have to make an effort with the thumbnails, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Just do every thumbnail and just paste that picture of that you have in like the Telegram chat that Ozzy keeps on posting.
Which one?
It's like with your face like really tiny.
Oh, with my face zoomed in on my face. Yeah, I'll do that. So this video then, I'll call it Adam lifting ASMR, and I'll put the thumbnail as just that picture on repeat. If I remember. Oh, I'm exhausted now. Just getting my.
These are like, see, these ones are nice. These are like before they actually like got to the helping ones. These are like the old style ellipses.
I've got a pair of them, and they're really nice to training.
Yeah.
These are not nice to training, but they.
About getting new ones, but I was just like, I don't want to like fight with them every time I have to train.
That's the thing. Like, anyone who says they don't help has either not tried them or is lying. They definitely do.
They're just like mini sleeves.
It feels like my knees are being hugged. So like that last rep was like 125, and my knees as I went down were like, oh, don't do this. Whereas now this is 175, and my knees won't feel a thing. So even if it's not helping lift, it definitely is just helping. Oh, that was heavy. Right, come on then, Alex. Yes. Nice work, man. don't think it was slower than the last one.
No, I mean like the next two.
Oh, I see. It's going to get slower. Yeah, probably.
But it's good. I mean, it's good considering like I think that I suppose it's speaking, but you're doing it faster than the 225 when I did my top split and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it should be really. You should. So the back end of. When was the competition going to be?
25th.
So not next weekend, the weekend after.
Yeah.
So first half of this. No, you should feel worse and worse over the course of this week.
Oh, okay.
And then next week you'll start feeling better and better.
Yeah.
And you'll start wanting to max out, but you shouldn't until.
You max out on Sundays.
Yeah, yeah. Are you going to come here to do it?
Yeah, I'll come do it.
I think a couple of the guys are going to come as well, so it should be better. Have a bit of atmosphere. How much is this now? 200. That's 200. That'll be 200, won't it?
Yeah.
And
That's 200 plus all those videos.
so that's 205. So I need another 12.5. The nice thing about doing it here instead of in the comp is you've got a bit of leeway on your jumps and stuff if you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to do 4. Right, 205. That'll be 215, 217. I saw that my program was 217, and I just wrote down 220. So I want to do 220, like, and then I realised that because I'm using these plates anyway.
It's actually easier to 217.
Well, yeah, potentially. 1.25. Yeah, March. So I was just saying to Ben, the plan was to do Ben's comp, the one that's here in a couple of weeks, and aim for 700 there, so that then I could basically have the rest of the year off until like at the back end of the year, maybe do something else again. But I pulled my hamstring at that last competition, and it didn't get better as fast as I expected it to. So then when the lift one was announced, I was like, an extra month of prep would be super helpful. So then that's why I changed the plan to that. But even still, I was still going to do the one here, but was just going to have it as a heavy training session.
Yeah. What did you have like, it was 250 for squat and deadlift, and then like 150 bench?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But that's like a rough plan. So what'll happen? What I'm doing with my loading is the first couple of weeks of the peak are fixed weights, because otherwise, whilst I feel good, I'll just do too much and then be knackered. So like this might not even move that well, or it might move really well. And I'm like, put 250 on, but I want to keep it consistent. And then the last like 2 or 3 weeks.
Like
100%, yeah. So on squat, I like velocity, because I can get myself fired up for squat completely different to deadlift or bench. I just can't, it's not like I can't do it on bench. I maybe just never had to. I just never bench heavy enough that I feel like.
I feel like for me, because you know, I use like a lot of like drive. I feel like if I get too fired up, that's just gonna make my ass fly. Fat, so
Yeah.
it's like it's also just really hard to get like deadlift's like the sort of like primal movement. Like you can get like a lot of aggression out on it, but I feel like doing this is like it's not as
No, it's just lying down, isn't it?
It's like you get the most.
The other thing is,
It's the biggest like thing that people think of strength. Just like, oh, you do strength, what's your bench? Basically.
Right, who goes? I said who goes. Shall I do mine or are you doing yours?
Yeah, I've still got one script on.
217.5. Huh? Didn't feel it. But, so if I was to go off the RPE, off the velocity, I should stick another 15, 20 kilos on. I'm glad I don't have to. 0.54. Come on, Alex. Yes. What a grind. What was popping? Was it the ground? Was it your knees? Yeah. It was good though.
My old knees.
There was no, like, it probably felt tough,
Yeah.
but there was no point during that when it was like, you're not going to do it. Yeah, it's good. So yeah, the lift comp will be the peak.
Yeah. So what are you thinking of, thinking like 280?
On the squats?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really torn between basically just repeat the exact same squat training cycle
Yeah.
and just squat the same, or squat 2 kilos more, get a PB, and then try and deadlift more
Yeah.
to get 700. But then equally, say like the peak went, so I started the peak 20 kilos heavier than last time at the same intensity. So that would mean that I should end, if I end 20 kilos heavier, that's 292, which is like obscene. And if I do that, then I know then I'll be like, well, 300 is on the cards.
Yeah, you'd be like,
So then there's a target.
then you'd be really like tempted to make the 300 because
Yeah.
if you're only 7.5 off and it's a good day, you'd be like,
Yeah, that would be the thing. But then, so I want to do this competition and have some time, not off from training, but off from SBD. And it's not, like, I do like the SBD, but it's the mental side of things of like, so this session's on a Sunday. I've updated everyone's programs and everything now. So I know when I go home tonight, I can just do nothing and relax, yeah. Like on a Wednesday, that's the day with the eccentric squats. So I block out my evening after that session. I still work, but I'm doing like admin and like.
so it's not like intensive or anything.
No, but I can't keep that up year round, and obviously trying to run a business, plural, that isn't easy.
I think I remember like the start of this block and everything like has felt easier from one point, and it was those like 6-second eccentric split squats.
Yeah.
They're possibly the hardest thing I've ever done in the gym.
Yeah, but they feel really strong, don't they?
Yeah.
So like they're horrendous, and your blood pressure is going up and up and up. But then when you reverse it, you're like, how?
Yeah.
How did I manage to do that? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's because you're still getting a stretch shortening cycle as you're doing it.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't feel like it.
I think I messaged you like while I was doing the training session. I was just like, I have to take like 10-15 minutes to just sit down and try and operate.
Well, like there's some research. You don't listen to this. There is some research on eccentric training and remodeling of your blood vessels. It essentially remodels like if you've been doing cardio. And I think it's probably something to do with the temporary increase in systolic pressure, which would mimic when you're doing actual cardio, but you also have the benefit of the muscular contraction and all the metabolites from that. I don't have anything more than just I think. It might not be any real research or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense. Like, it's in theory should bring all the same advantages.
And
So for a prolonged period rather than the shortened 1 second lift.
Anecdotally, when people track their resting heart rate and then go through like a 2 to 4 week phase, only what I've seen with people, which is obviously, it's not thousands of people, but it's still a big sample size, your resting heart rate tends to drop, it tends to go up and then drop by about 10%. 10% when your resting heart rate's like 50, it's not much, but like if your resting heart rate's 80, like that's pretty substantial. Anyway, how many of yours have you done?
I've got one left.
Okay. Number 2. I thought my shoelace was undone when I was unracking it. So the whole time I was like, is my shoelace undone? Just remember that you're still squatting quite a lot. Do you know, like when, so if you squat 100 kilos with full force, it'll leave you back, won't you?
Yeah.
And you can catch it, but if you get it wrong, still 100 kilos. Like, that's not going to end well.
I always like find that I'm just like, if I put too much into my warm-ups, I feel like it's going to be a bad time. I'll just like throw my shoulder back, my shoulder to the leg.
Yeah. That's why I stopped tracking velocity below a certain weight. Because otherwise I'd be squatting like 100 at 100% effort and then feel like it's going to snap my wrists when it comes back down to earth.
I'm going to say you said that, but there's that video of you in, I think it was the first one that was there.
Oh yeah.
It's like 220 and it like literally comes off of your back.
But, so that one, I only did that competition because I'd entered it.
Yeah.
I'd paid for the media thing, and I was like, right, I need some new things to use for adverts and stuff. And up till that is when the hamstring issue had kind of started. So I was like, I want to hit 80% of what I think my maxes are. So if you can hit 80% at full effort, you're probably fine. So 220 was 80% of my then estimated max of 265, I think. So that was why. Anyway, you do your. So Alex is going to do a mock competition in a couple of weeks because the one he was actually going to do got cancelled, unfortunately. Come on. Yes. So good. Spot on. That was really good. How'd it feel?
Better than the second one.
It looks just as solid.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Very, very good. So what's next? Bench, single. What is it, 170?
Yeah, 170 now.
Nice.
So, it'll be fun. I think that's my match PB.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Except you're going to do it to comp standards on comp kit with plates and everything else.
Like I said, the last one was over at like JD on bumpers with their questionable bars.
Yeah, and questionable benches. So that's the thing I found at the bodybuilding gym is the bars, but now that I've spoke to the owner, I can use a decent bar. Yeah, which is all right, but like I won't be squatting 250 on it. And then after that, oh, the actual bench. It's one of the preset ones, and I'm between two heights. So you know, like where it's awkward to unrack. And you're not allowed chalk, which I understand is because the gyms, with it being just an open gym, it just get filled up with by all the children.
I'm not sure if Yellowstone is, because it might be a nicer bodybuilding gym, but I know I have this issue at JD a lot of, it's because people are newer, I know that's the reason, but people will get very, very close to you.
Oh yeah, no concept of personal space. Yeah.
Yeah, like I've had like some of my things before where it's like 200 on my back and someone's like an inch away from the bar and it's great.
I'll show you after the squat rack at the bodybuilding gym. There is a machine here. That's a row, and that's well no. So it's if the bar is there, the machine would be here, and like the walls there. The machine, you do rows like this, but to get to those weights that go on the machine down here, you're like on top of one another. And usually, it sounds mean, but if you look at the person who's on the machine, you know you don't have to tell them. Yeah. You're like, you're new here. Just whilst I do my reps, will you just hang on? And whilst you're doing yours, I'll hang on, so we don't crash. But this, yeah, I've made the mistake of not warning someone.
Real close to like.
Yeah. I've hurt my back 3 times, like badly.
Yeah.
The third time was I slipped on some ice, so nothing you can do about that. The second time was after I'd been doing some gymnastics. I landed a flip in a bad way, and then the next day I then slipped on some ice. So yeah. But the first time that I did it, so for context, at the time, my best squat was 130 for 3. I remember this because it was just before Christmas, and then after Christmas, I had 132 for an AMRAP, and I was like, I'm gonna smash 3 or 4 reps. First rep, hit the bottom, and someone walking past just clipped the end of the bar, so it just twisted and jarred. But I sort of managed to steady it because it was in front of a mirror and a window there, so if it had kept going, it would have shattered the mirror and the window. I squatted the bar up, found who it was and had a word. I was like, same height, but lots smaller, and maybe didn't have the same confidence, I guess. And then I was like, this is going to be bad. So I finished off the session, but without the squats. At the time, it was like squats, leg extensions, hamstring curls, abs or something. Didn't do the abs because that's already hurting. And then the next day, it took a good 4 days before I could actually get out of bed. It was just horrendous. Like I had to get my housemates at the time to help me get up so I could go to the toilet. Like
I've had the same like instance of those back when I was squatting like 145.
yeah.
So I've had someone literally, as I was like coming down with it, like with a weight, just smack it. So it was like this. And luckily, I somehow came out because I think I didn't try and correct it. I just bailed.
Oh, okay.
I think that helped me a lot.
Yeah, probably a good move.
I didn't end up getting hurt from it. I had words with the person afterwards.
Yeah, because the thing is as well, you don't want to be mean to people, and you especially, like, you're big muscular guy, beard, like probably quite intense when you're lifting. You don't want to put someone off the gym, but also they need to know. Like, dear God, that was a ricochet. I felt a bit off center on the squat, so I think I overcorrected it when I was coming back in and just jolted it. obviously when I train at ASC, I've got the full gym to myself because it's my gym. And like zero issues with filming and recording and whatever, except for that I don't do it when members are in. But I have found like getting used to doing it in other places, I'm just not used to it at all. Like not even doing it and talking, but just doing it, like just the filming.
Partying always feels like it's off. I can't imagine like the awkwardness of like filming the whole session. It always feels like slightly awkward to film like top sets even.
Right.
Like in a studio. I think that's more like because it's very busy, so
Yeah.
I always have to be like
See,
going up to people and being like, is it okay? Is it okay?
when I was training at the commercial gym, I actually found it easier when it was busier than when it was quieter. Because when it was quieter, I could see there was 1 or 2 people in the background, and then I felt like I needed to go and say something to them and be like, you're in the background of this, is that okay? Whereas when it's packed, I'm like, there's like 40 people in here. Like, no. The thing is, like, if someone actually has an issue or visibly looks uncomfortable, obviously you just be a normal person. But yeah. Right. I'm just going to go check something with Ben because I don't want to do it wrong. Ben, which plates for the belt squat?
Whatever, really, mate.
But not the calibrated.
Yeah, ideally not the calibrated. You can stick the 50s on if you want.
I won't use a calibrated because it'll be on video.
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone else to do it.
The 50s are okay to go on there, though.
Cool, thank you.
It's the pain in the ass at the moment, that's all. So, anyone keeps asking me to move, to store some plates near the belt spot for you. So that you have to walk as far. I was like, okay, steps up.
Yeah, you're doing good. Let me know if you want me to move any of this junk. Have you used this belt squat?
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
What sort of weight was you getting up to?
I did 200. Yeah.
Nice. 200?
Yeah, like 520s either side.
Wow. I think I used like 130 on it.
I did it as I think I put it in my program and literally I had my stockings on and had my feet like here.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like trying to make it as much knees over toes as possible.
That's how you squat, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You what, sorry? Yeah. Loads of people. Well, yeah. So when it's busier as well, you can't tell who does or doesn't have headphones on. Whereas when it's quieter, you can, and then you know the people without headphones on, they're listening, and just sound crazy. So yeah, I am being lazy here because I don't want to get the 50s. They just seem too heavy. That's very kind. I'm just going to guess on weight here. That's partly why I changed my training to come here, is so I could use this. Yeah.
It's really nice like that. I prefer it over
The leg press, yeah.
because the bolt there becomes an issue because with the bigger plates that you've got, you can't actually put them on.
Oh, okay.
So like I got up to like 200 and it was like quite easy, and I was trying to go heavier, but I was like I can't actually find ways that would fit on.
Yeah. Take whatever weights off there you want, or if not, we use them for deadlifting. I failed on this earlier on last year with like 130, which is why I was surprised that you're using 200. Short people problems. I need to make it higher. What can I stand on? You seen any mats knocking about? Not like flimsy little thin ones that I'm going to damage. Nah, it'll damage them. I could just shorten this chain, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
That'll chain.
There is another chain somewhere. I'm not sure if it's longer.
It's longer, yeah. It's down here. Or I could just go heavier. I could stand on nah. Yeah, I'll just go heavier. Which ones?
You could put a 20 inside.
Yeah. I just didn't know if the metal on metal. Do you want these? Or was you just putting it away? See you later, Ben. Yeah, if I just shorten this chain. Yeah. Are you carrying 220s?
Yeah.
Unit. Right. 5 count eccentric, 5 reps. One, two, three. Okay, let's try this. Well, that's horrible. Oh yeah, it's great. Like, genuinely think it's great. It's just hard. That's not a bad thing, is it? Why?
It's much earlier than I usually train.
You find that better or worse?
Oh, I have a lot more.
Because you don't finish work and stuff till quite late normally, do you?
No, I'm usually, it kind of depends, because it's, sometimes I'll finish on time, sometimes I'll finish early.
Yeah.
It's mostly dependent on surgeons and when they do things.
Right.
So, because I get like samples and things from them.
Oh,
So
okay.
if they finish surgery at like 5, 6.
Yeah.
I still have to go like that and do everything that I want to do with it.
Mhm.
So by then it's like 9, 10.
So what time do you start?
Usually training like
No, work.
like 10, 10 and 9.
Oh, okay, so that's not as bad then if you're starting
Yeah,
later.
I used to start like 8, 9, but I've just kind of teetered into it, expecting to stay for a longer time. So
Makes sense, yeah.
it's like I actually get some sleep.
And then for training, what time do you normally start training?
On the later days, like 10, 11, and then on normal days I can start training like 7. So
Nice.
it's quite late usually. Which I like because then there's no one in the gym. So
Yeah, especially at like a 24-hour type place.
yeah.
This is great on the spine as well, I always think.
Nice decompression.
Yeah. Right.
Happy 7.
Well, I was just thinking about that, of whether or not I should go up, because the eccentrics feel like an RPE 8, which it's supposed to be, but the concentrics, because I'm helping back up,
Yeah.
they're easy. I'm going to go up because, no, I'm not going to go up because it's week 1. I was going to say I'm going to go up because it's week 1, but no. I'm better off starting lighter.
Yeah. You got room to go.
Yeah. It's good though. Like, you know, it's one of those things that I can feel it in my soul. You know when you're doing an exercise and you can feel it's actually working? Which I know that's not a real thing, like you can't actually tell, but there's some movements where they just
feel good.
just hit the spot. Like lat pull downs like that.
Yeah.
I always find just one set and I feel like, is this
155.
it's still not your top set, is it?
No. I've got 178 for this.
Cool.
This is when I actually start putting on my
Yeah. So I restarted powerlifting again, maybe like 3.5 years ago, 2.5, 3.5, and I just made a decision not to wear wrist straps, and I'm so glad now, because at the time when I restarted, my bench was 105, like that was just my day one, that's what I bench, like cool, so I'm just never going to use wrist straps, and now fortunately can bench.
Have like the most built light wrists.
Well, they're only tiny though.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I just take anything I can get.
Yeah. You know what I should do? If you're here training again, I'll buy another one of these and you can clip it to your beard.
At the moment, it's just like I'm weird.
Yeah, it'll sound like I'm talking to myself. I was in here with a guy before and I asked him a question and he went off on this big long political rant and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna have to edit this now. It's much easier to just like, there you go, it's done. Do you need a hand off or anything?
Not yet, no. The
Okay.
next one I probably will.
Yeah.
I'll do my set first, actually.
No rush. Feel all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you catch the rail?
Yeah, a little bit, but
Might be better with a hand out so you can get a little bit further away.
yeah, I think I'm also like, subconsciously I'm like, this pec's tight and this one's not, so
What's
I'm like subconsciously being
what's your top set and what are your back off singles?
like 170s top and I think like 165 were the singles.
Go 165 first,
Yeah.
and if it's fine, then go 170 and count it as one off the back offs,
Okay. Yeah.
so that you still do the same work. But whereas if you go 170 and if it's not great, yeah. Right. This was really easy. I forgot to take the pin out. Like, oh, this is lovely. That was great. Horrible, but great. Yeah. Right. That's. Legs like jelly now. So, that is eccentric belt squats done. Next up is some Y-flies and then some bench. So I'm gonna steal Alex's bench. So a Y-fly is like a TYU or trap 3 raise but backwards. Not going heavy, just using it to warm up. Which bench? I'm gonna do it on this bench. Just have to go the other way. So that's actually too heavy. That's good though. I'm supposed to be doing 10 as a warm up, but that's too much weight. And I'll put these weights away between. And just stealing your bench. Oh, must be a ghost in there. and all the rest of the building's gone silent and dark as well. Oh. Yeah. Well, if it helps you psychologically, then that's the...
It kind of sets me up for the...
Yeah. If it makes you feel more comfortable doing it, then do it. Even if it's just like a pre-lift routine. Like, I know it doesn't help me to tie my hair up before I squat, but I still do it. Psychologically, it's like each weight do a new thing.
Yeah.
I used to like knee sleeves on at this weight, squat shoes at this weight, belt on at this weight, wrist wraps at this weight, music at this weight, music on full at this weight, and now I'm like, get rid of as many of them as possible. You want a hand off?
Yeah, I'll take a hand off.
You going to count me in, or do I count you in?
I'll give you a nod.
Okay. Your bar. Stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. Nice.
Nice.
You can see a little uneven,
Yeah.
like you said. What was your top set last week?
167.
Okay, stick with this again, the next one, just see how it is.
Yeah.
Rather than like going up. I don't want you to miss.
Yeah.
Like that's the really important thing now, is you're running the fine line between training hard and not missing reps.
Yeah.
I don't want you to just overshoot it a tiny bit and end up taking a tight pec into a torn one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to put that in your head. Do you mind me using this between your sets?
No, I'll go for it.
Good, because I have been whilst you're gone. This was too heavy with 2.5s, so I've gone down to 1.25s.
Oh,
Great stretch though. Caught back up to you now. Caught back up to you now. I got bench next. I'll go for these away. Oh wait, no, because I'll be benching whilst you're deadlifting. So yeah, I'll leave these collars and stuff for you. Cool. So when do you normally actually get to train then?
what, like usual time?
Yeah. Don't mind putting this away.
It's 7 on a usual day, 10, 11 on a late day.
Oh, okay. So it does get on a bit.
Yeah. It's like still in here at like midnight.
Yeesh. At least, like you say, it's quiet. Is there ever anyone in here at that time?
No. Like back on like Friday, there was like someone in here at like 11. Like a couple came in before they started grabbing.
One of them bald / shaved head, and the woman ginger.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
No. I didn't know if it was Owen. Don't know if you know Owen.
No. I didn't actually ask their names. I don't know.
Fair enough. It's not exactly a big place hall for strength stuff, is it?
No.
There's only so many places to train and stuff. So it's like everyone knows everyone.
I mean, I used to be training. I used to occasionally see like Nathan, like when I was training. So
Yeah.
that was good because I could always ask for a handoff, and Nathan would do his good handoffs.
Yeah. That sounds so wrong. Nathan gives good handoffs. I'm going to tell him that. At least you said hand off. Right. I just bent my nail. Can't wait for Vorzy to clip that, turn it into a video or something.
Send it to Nathan.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, if you're ready.
Three, two, one. Good.
You know about? Press. Stick with it. Stick with it. Yeah.
Nice.
That was better than the last one. How did it feel?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than last.
Good. Right. You have a rest. You are?
What are you loading up?
Just the bar, but you stay there. I'll sort it out. I can probably do my first 2-3 warm-up sets before you're ready to go again. So, like, take the time to actually rest. Since you're close to a comp. And I've stole your stuff. It doesn't matter how strong I get, I have to start with a bar. Even on squats and deadlifts.
Yeah, the only one I've done start with the bar on is deadlifts. I start with 70.
Oh, okay.
But that's just so it's the same height.
This is definitely on an incline. Right. Just let me know whenever you're ready to go again.
Oh yeah, sure.
Might be able to get all 3 of my sets done. Not actually.
So am I doing 1-6? Am I just doing my back offs? Or am I doing 165 as my top set as well? So it's 4 offs.
Do the next one.
Yeah.
See how the next one is.
Okay.
If it's fast, then go up.
Okay.
Because it'll still be more work on average. Won't it?
Yeah.
This is 1.
With the collars. Oh wait, no.
It'll be 1, 1, 5. Yeah. No, go 110. I do like the chalk ball. It's classy.
Yeah.
It's classy having a chalk ball. I mean, it's probably not fun for cleaning up. Or it might actually be better for cleaning up than people doing it out of their bags and stuff.
I guess I just got like carry a bag full of chalk.
You feeling ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you reckon? 165, 16, yeah. Did you watch all of Sheffield?
I started watching when they finished squats.
Okay.
So I'd started watching on bench, and then I watched it from there.
If you find yourself in need of watching something, obviously once you've finished watching this, the squats were great.
Yeah, like I saw that I've seen like clips of it since from like the 478 kilo squat.
I don't know if it's just me, but it never looks like it's to depth with the supers.
No, it's like I feel like you have to like know where their hip lies exactly or something.
You
like,
have to.
Really
they must be having to guess a bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can only see the recording of it. Right.
But they're like, I know in like IPF they're very strict about it. So,
Yeah.
so you know that if you've got it, good.
Yeah. Gavin Aiden finally got the world record squat.
Yeah.
And then the other fellow went and squatted at the same or a bit more. So
Is that like Gustav or?
no, a guy. I think he was from Guyana.
Oh, Carlos.
Carlos. Yes. Yeah. But then Gavin Aiden came back and went even higher, which is like happy for the guy.
Yeah.
It's cool to see.
Alright.
Three, 2, 1. Go bar. Stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. That's scary.
I felt like I've dropped.
That triangle looking pin that came out of there. Obviously it wasn't holding anything in.
No.
How would that feel?
Felt okay, but
Yeah.
I feel like if I go 170 it'll be very much a grinder. I'm not too sure about it, so.
If I'm honest, I don't think you get 170 today. You only just locked this out on this side. It's that, so not for this block, it's too late now.
Yeah.
But you're real controlled until the last inch or two,
Yeah.
then you kind of drop it a bit, which will help you to get the bar moving, but long term, that's probably going to be a limiting factor.
Yeah.
Just the 20 off, please. We stick that and the collar on, please. That's 127, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Yeah, and the thing is, like, timing all 3 lifts is hard work. So I think bench is maybe just a bit more fatigued than squats are.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, which is not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the things that just like you got me on the board press, and I found board press really hard actually.
Right.
So I think it's like that. Like I use a barbell pad instead because I don't have a board here,
Yeah,
or at least I can find it. So,
they definitely do.
but
I know they definitely do. They're through there. I can see them. I'll show you. Let me just do this. This is my last warm up, so then I'm going up to 165. Join you. Did you believe me that I was going to 165 next? Just through here.
how that moved.
No, that didn't move well. This.
Oh.
This is the thing. So if you was doing it by yourself, you could just take one of the pads. So you could just use that. Ideally, you would have someone hold it.
Yeah.
But you can just rest it on your
yeah.
top, and they're a bit grippy.
Oh, okay.
Not perfect, but it'd work. And then you can have different heights based on whatever you need.
So I was just using a barbell pad, not the
Have you have you seen the bench blocks that you can get?
Yeah.
You can get a knockoff one for like 15 quid or something.
They're like criminally expensive otherwise, aren't they? Like,
Yeah, I got a official one, and at the time it was like 30 quid. Yeah, everything's so expensive now. Either if you're ready, we'll put yours back on. If you're not, then we'll put mine on. So,
put yours on.
yeah? Okay. Just that, please. And the collar. Right. Is this going to work? Thank you. Yeah, you didn't factor this in when you said that I could go first, did you? That I'd be messing about with this.
Setting up the velocity.
Yeah. That'll work. I did the other day when I was doing some of the pause squats, I had my phone in the safeties. I didn't realise until after I'd done the first rep, and I was like, oh, this is going to end badly.
I've broken my phone before, something similar to that, of just like, I think I was doing shoulder press,
Yeah.
and just forgetting that I had it in my pocket. So that as soon as I like went to put it on my knee, and it just had like a nice crunch.
Oh no. See, I had one of them before where I dropped, I think it was like a 15, 20 kilo dumbbell, but like same thing on my pocket, completely fine. Later on that day, I just like put it down on the side and the screen just went, and I just like, damn it. It was definitely the dumbbell that broke it. Cool. Didn't pick it up though. So no, I didn't set this up right. Oh well, I'm still gonna do it. It's only 3 singles at that, so it's not heavy. Pardon? I'm filming it all if you want it, but if you want it sooner, then set yours up as well. I've got tomorrow's video is uploading right now.
Oh, okay.
So once that's uploaded, good thing about that is the quality is quite good. Bad thing is the file sizes are massive. So yeah, I'm waiting for that to finish uploading so that then I can put the next one on it and take it off my phone.
So did you actually get a new laptop to help with this as well?
I didn't buy a new laptop just for this, but like...
You're not committed to being an influencer like that?
No. I just want to help people get strong. I spent on Friday, I had an hour and a half, and I was like, right, exercise demos, get as many filmed as I can. But I had Jack, one of our coaches at the gym, stood with the tripod, pressing. So he'd say the exercise name, say start, I'd do it, stop, next exercise, start, stop. So I had a 60 kilo bar on my back and did about 30 squats with it, but like 5 count eccentric, 3 count pause, start, stop. 5 count eccentric, 5 count pause, start, stop. 5. I was like proper dying. I was like, dear God. And then like, so it was about an hour and a half. We got like 90 something videos done. Yeah, so more than 1 a minute. So now I've got them all to upload and add to the app and stuff. Because I get lots of younger guys who are asking for help, but obviously just practically can't afford real coaching. So that way I can give them something, charge not a lot for it, so then I can justify spending the time on it to actually be able to help people. Yeah.
Makes sense. Obviously that's the reason I ended up taking so long to get coaching, because it was just like, I also had that mentality of just like, nah, it's fine,
Well, that's the thing.
programs.
It's the following the programs thing that people don't actually do.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I don't think you need a coach for a long time. Like, as long as your technique is safe,
Yeah.
you just need to spend more time in the gym. It's only when you actually start getting strong and where like fatigue is a thing. Like you're strong, first you need to train safe, then you need to learn how to train hard, then you need to learn how to train smart. You got to the point of where you can train safe and you can train hard. Now you need to train smart. So that's why you needed. If you had more time and you had an easier job, you could definitely get it all figured out yourself.
Yeah.
But
I'm not.
exactly, yeah.
I don't want to commit that time to like trail through like all of them.
Well, the other thing as well is each week I'll see a lot more people's programs and problems and everything, so I'll see patterns and things faster.
Yeah. Oh, I should probably actually press record.
This time you give me a nod or you start the countdown, the 3, 2, 1, and then I'll finish it so you can just concentrate on the rep.
Yeah.
So you start the 3, I'll say 2, 1, and we'll lift on 1.
Okay, that's something. 3.
2, 1. Your bar. Yes, stick with it, Alex. Yeah, hold it. Well done. Reason I said hold it is because you was just rotating towards this. Like,
yeah.
hold it, hold it, hold it. Otherwise, it's going to get stuck.
I have done that like before. Of literally like, I think it was like close to my last walk as well, where it's the accumulation phase that you have already.
Yeah.
Like,
You start helicoptering the bar.
it's like I had like 150 for 5s, and then like on the 5th rep, I literally like brought it up, bounced off, and I was just like.
I did a push-pull, not this December just gone, the one before. On my opener, I think I did 135.
Yeah.
I ended up with a 150 bench on that day. So the 135 was fast, but I don't know if I was uneven on grip or whatnot, but I just helicoptered and bounced it off. Just that, and the collar, please.
Yeah, mate.
That's fine. What's next for you, Deads?
Yeah, Dennis.
Nice. I find touch and go harder than paused. And even my touch and go is a bit paused.
I find like, I think it's because I trained it for a really long time, but I trained touch and go for a long time.
Do you want this to deadlift on? Because I've got one more single if you do. If not,
Oh, no, I'll take that.
you want that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
As long as it's got enough knurling to where I can actually really hurts my hands, then I know that.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. That seems sensible. I'll move this so it's out the way. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make. Well, I mean, that's what it's where it's designed to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your grip is far better than mine.
Is that just like I put it down to curl strength and only.
And the size of you, that might have something to do with it. You're also massive. Like. Oh, actually, I'm glad you said that because I've got close grip bench after this. But with the rest times you're going to need with your deadlifts, I might catch you up again.
Yeah. I think my deadlift rest times are usually not that bad. They're like pretty quick, but only when it gets heavy. It's gonna take a while.
Reps. When you do reps, do you have to take longer?
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's the thing, there's no eccentric on the deadlift, is there?
No.
So your blood pressure don't quite get the same unless it's an absolute grinder.
Yeah. Like
Where did you do them?
Here.
Yeah.
I just did them on these and just used bumpers for the first ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've got reverse banded deadlifts this block, like in this week or two.
Yeah.
So just do them off them pins up there.
Oh yeah. That should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've enjoyed reverse banded squats. They make me feel stronger than actually. So.
They are a nice movement, aren't they? I think doing it on this is better as well for comp because it's ever so slightly off, and when you're competing, it's never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And if it is, then great, it is. So don't wait for me if you need to do your reps. Nice. Sit. I did, just caught it. Think I could do a lower in one, really, but someone's tightened this.
It might be my problem eventually.
Someone with a ridiculous grip, meaning you. Yeah. It don't matter, I'm not going to read them. Famous last words.
Say that now.
Yeah. I thought you said you started at 70. You didn't do a single rep there? $20 next, yeah? 25, sorry.
I'm not actually like smarter than them. So I say to you, I just picked 25 on.
Have you seen the video of Rondell Hunt where he picks up the end of the bar with one hand and he puts the 20s on it with the other? Lift that up for me. Thank you. So he picks up the bar like that, and there's a 25, but there's like 4 25s already on it. It's ridiculous. I mean, I know he's like one of the best on the planet.
I do like seeing like all of the, like going on Instagram and just seeing all of these people who are like absolute units and just like, I like watching John Hack as well.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, obviously, taking things or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not achievable for me, but.
Even natural John Hack was.
Yeah, even then he was like amazing.
So I remember when he was competing, tested, everyone was like, he's on stuff. And then he went away and came back 6 months later with like 8 kilos on his deadlift. It was like, oh, okay, now he's on stuff.
Now he is, yeah.
From the little that I've seen, he apparently doesn't take very much. Which
I mean, it doesn't seem like it anyway.
I would believe it based on how good he already was.
Yeah.
If you were doing reps on that, you get a good bounce out of it. Right, 5 reps, 5 count eccentric. How's that going to be for counting? I shouldn't have said that, because now, if anyone was watching it, they'd time it. Whereas I'm... The timestamps, yeah. Arms just go to jelly.
Is that like more because you're compensating with your tricep on that side off?
I think so, because this tricep does everything,
Yeah.
so it gets tired. Also though, it supports what I keep saying about how your pecs aren't as important as people think for bench. 'Cause I don't have one, so
But they look good, you know?
yeah. Apparently, I don't know, I've never had them, so.
How did you actually tear it? Like,
Do you want the long version or the short version?
whichever you fancy.
So, leading up to it, I was doing judo to quite a high level,
Yeah.
and I was fairly new to the gym. So like I'd been in the gym, like around gyms, but never been left to my own devices.
Yeah.
I'd only ever been at like under 16s gym hour induction, whatever, where you play on the machines or go on a cross trainer or something. Anyway, first session in the gym, I squatted 140 for a double and I weighed like 67. It's probably really high, but I did it.
Yeah.
I also pulled 180. Horrible technique. There is a video on YouTube of it, and it's so bad. But anyway, day 2, went to the gym, trained with a friend, and we trained upper body. I benched 110, like first time in the gym. No pause, just like bounce.
Cat pulling off.
I'd imagine he probably spotted me, I don't remember. Next thing, he's like, right, we're doing flies. Cool, follow along. I was like, I didn't know what weight to use. And he'd gone off for some reason. I don't know if he'd gone to get a drink or toilet, whatever. Anyway, there's another guy at the gym and he was doing flies with like the 28s or something like that. And all the lighter weights were taken because the gym was busy. Yeah. So like basically anything from like 4 kilos to 30 kilos people were using. So the only weights were the 30s. Yeah. So I took the 30s, kick them up, start doing flies. So this is all like only my memory. I don't know how accurate this is on the specifics, but in what I think must have been happening is I was doing flies like this, so I was barely moving. By this point, my buddy's come back. He's like, I think you need to go lower. And I'd done 6 reps. So this was going to be the 7th rep. So the 7th rep, I went lower and I didn't come back up. I went lower. There was a pop, like an audible popping sound on this side. I don't remember the weights hitting the floor, but I do remember my arm. It felt like my arm had just broken. It just disappeared, and I got up and I was like, something's wrong. And like my arm was just like floppy. I was like, I knew there was something wrong, but I didn't know what it was, didn't know anything else. And looked, and like within seconds, it started like a line started coming from it, like the bruising like immediately. And then like at the time, I'd only recently like figured out how to flex my pecs. And I went to flex my pec and the pain was just ridiculous.
I like the thought process of,
Well, it was
like, something might be wrong with it, I'm going to flex it.
Well, no, it was just like seeing what it is, you know. And so this is like a week into uni, so I hadn't actually learned any medicine or anything. But I was at the beginning of a medical degree, and so I felt stupid not knowing what it was. And I left it for like a day or two, and then I went to A&E. And the nurse was like, no, you're fine, you've just strained it. And I was like, okay. And then over the next couple of days, I started like looking into it more and more and more. None of my studies or anything, didn't bother with them. Yeah. And I went back again and I saw a different nurse and she said I'd pulled my coracobrachialis. It's a very small muscle that crosses over, And I was like, no, I've not. And I printed out, I must have been a nightmare as a patient. I'd printed out about 12 different articles on torn pecs, the symptoms, like basically like Wikipedia articles and stuff like that, and like how you needed to have surgery like immediately or you would never recover. And I was like, look, the only reason I stayed here was to pursue judo, like at a higher level. That's the only reason I stayed at uni and Hull and everything else. And she was like, well, I don't think it's that, but I'll ask one of the surgeons. And I was like, cool. So a surgeon, he's like, I don't know, you could maybe get a scan. I'm like a foot and ankle specialist. Shoulder specialist is in clinic today, so he won't be able to see you today. I was like, cool, where's the clinic? And he was like, it's the orthopedic clinic, but he doesn't have an appointment today. I was like, no worries, what's his name? Told me his name. And I went and I sat in the clinic. I just sat there and waited until the clinic was finished. And I was like, doctor, I won't name names. Here's what's happened. Here's what's going on. What do we do? And then basically, so that was November. He essentially was like, you need a scan. We need to wait for the scan. And then after the scan, you have an operation. I didn't get a scan until February. No, that's a lie, sorry. I got a scan in December, so like about 2 weeks later, which is pretty good. And then I heard nothing, and I called every single day. I rang, is there results? No. Is there results? No. Is there results? No. And then basically I got really depressed, as you'd imagine. Basically did nothing at uni. And then it was the 7th of February, they rang me and were like, we've got your results, you've got a complete rupture of your pec tendon, time is of the essence, you need it repairing immediately, or it's not going to work, can you come in tomorrow? And I was like, yes. Didn't even know what else I was doing. I was like, yes, I'll be in tomorrow. I only remember that because it was my granddad's 65th birthday on the day I had it, which was on the 8th of February. So I went in, had the surgery, and then a whole slew of other issues and stuff. But yeah, that's that story. And so for that time period and then the immediate time period after, I just safety bar squatted all the time.
So if you have managed to get it done, I'm going to say because like if you get it done pretty quickly, you can get a lot of function back.
Yeah, be back to full function more or less. But no, so there's still a big hole there. Yeah. So after the surgery, they said there was 23% of it still attached, which they considered a success.
I suppose even 10% is better than none.
yeah, I guess. And then because it had all been rushed through, I didn't see the surgeon until 6 weeks after the op.
Yeah.
He thought I'd been getting physio.
Nope.
Nothing. I saw him, took the sling off, just starts moving my arm about. Like, yeah, everything's fine here. Just go about your normal life now. Okay. Went home, went to lift something, bicep went pop.
Yeah.
Bicep torn. I think it had been damaged at some point during all this, but it's the top of my bicep here, which can't be repaired. So there's a hole there. So yeah. And then more issues over time, but we should keep lifting. So all this happened. By this point, it was getting towards the end of like uni, like the end of the first year of uni.
Yeah.
And so at this point now, I had enough knowledge to be like, right, clearly I need to do some rehab.
Yeah.
I looked at research and stuff. High-level athletes were getting back into their sports within 6 months to a year post pec tear surgery.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, I'm the highest level of athlete in my mind.
Yeah.
Obviously wasn't. 6 months is a target. So I started training again. During all this time, I'd been learning about lifting, ready for when my shoulder was okay, so I could do actual strength and conditioning to supplement the judo.
Yeah.
Went back, started training again. Judo was going well, decent strength and conditioning kind of program and stuff. Got interested in powerlifting, mainly because I could do it without having to rely on other people for timing. I could train at any time of the day. Yeah. And I knew that judo-wise, it was going to take me more than 6 months. 6 months to get back to judo, and then to get back to standard was going to take longer. So I wanted something in the meantime. Powerlifting seemed like a good idea. And at that point as well, so I would compete in judo under 66. Yeah. I'm 96 now, for reference. So I'd always struggled with like staying at that weight, but the next weight category up was 73. That was like a long way away. Yeah. So I was like, cool, powerlifting, get bigger, get stronger, come back in a heavier weight class. And then I don't know,
It's considered heavyweight in judo.
it was heavy for me at the time. The weight classes are very similar to powerlifting.
Oh.
So that is still a lightweight.
Yeah.
But you'd generally be slimmer for judo.
Yeah.
So like there'd be people in the 73s that are close to 6 foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I went and did a competition. It was like the British Universities Championships. So I was like, there'll be some competitors that are at a national standard, but it's mostly people that have started judo at uni.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good competition to do because I get some easy matches and there'll be a couple of people that are actually good to test, but without having to just have a day of getting hammered against the high levels.
Yeah.
Like 3 fights in or something, someone pulled my arm just like that and there was a crunch. I felt a crunch, there was an audible crunch, and basically, you know your glenoid fossa?
Yeah.
It's like on a golf tee,
Yeah.
basically that snapped. So my shoulder dislocated because of that snapping. Over the next few years, that just kept dislocating, nerve damage, a bunch of other stuff, and then I had to have a reconstruction a few years later. So the bone was cut off, threaded through the muscle, I can't remember which one specifically now, it's called a later jet procedure, and bone grafted in front of where your humerus sits there. So there's a bone graft in the way.
Yeah.
And by that point I was like, I'm clearly not doing judo anymore. No. And then by that point I liked lifting weights.
Yeah.
And I was like, powerlifting, squat and deadlift, I can make a big total with a squat and deadlift, even with a rubbish bench.
Yeah.
And now bench is obviously starting to, it's not as good as the other lifts, but
Yeah, it's picking up, yeah.
like a 160 bench is not bad. So that,
Anything north of like 40.
yeah, well, I had like rehab goals and stuff when I decided about like, I'm going to go powerlifting. And my like, I'll never achieve it bench was 140 because of all that stuff. So now for bench, I don't really care. Yeah, everything's bonus. Nice.
I'll actually be smart. The big jump I've done before.
Well, if you're thinking competition, what you would open with, so 275 is going to be like somewhere between a second and a third for you.
Yeah.
So realistically, your second would be maybe like 255.
Yeah, like, I was going to say, because like, the first time I had 270 on here, I think, like 270 for my peak,
Sorry, I was just counting how many sets I'd done.
yeah.
I'm aware I was monologuing. So what are you going to go, 245, 250?
Yeah,
255.
Yeah, 255. So, that's what I was doing like last time. And then go 275 from here.
Yeah, that's sensible. 20 kilo jump to your top set.
Yeah.
What your back offs today, is it 260?
I think it's either 267 or 265 and then like 255. So
Nice.
it's not too bad.
I look at that and I'm like, that's so heavy. Especially conventional. But it doesn't look heavy, does it?
No.
On those plates.
It's like a. But for you, it's like your like squat and deadlift are like flipped for mine. In a
Yeah.
way. And just like
Well, this,
your squat's like 270, 280-ish, something like that.
yeah. It's just, if I was sumo deadlifting, it would be the same. But I'm not.
Yeah.
So I think my conventional is just weak just because it hasn't been trained.
Yeah. It
That-
will be.
Yeah,
You've done like you're like recovering adept for.
yeah. So I think I'll have had 20 weeks of training it going into this next competition, but 6 of them will have been rehab for my hamstring because everything but my hamstring is strong enough to deadlift more,
Yeah.
which is why my hamstring went pop because that's all injury, isn't it? It's just too much stress.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it wasn't a full tear, it's just a pull.
Yeah.
But I'm so tempted to sumo, but then I just have to remind myself I can't sumo and squat heavy. My hips just can't take it.
I was like my first competition.
Yeah.
I was like looking up everyone to see who was like roundabout like what I was googling, and I was like googling like guessing like
What people's
goals and
maxes would
stuff.
be.
So I was like, where will I actually place in this if I hit like these things? And I remember just like looking at yours like a couple of weeks out, and I was just like, all right, like 220, all right, that's fine. And then like you got closer and closer. It was like 250 on squat and stuff, and I was just like, that's insane. the like jumps from week to week.
But so the thing is, like, even with these videos, you don't see what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
So like that first time I hit the 250 squat, I was ruined for about 4 days.
Yeah.
Like just mentally, it's like my brain had just been. Do you know like when you can get fully riled up?
Yeah.
Like that just takes it out of me so much. But yeah.
But I think I talked to you on the first day as well, and you were saying like that you'd. Was it then that you'd like sorted out your sleep finally?
Yeah, the sleep apnea machine, best thing ever.
Yeah, like because you'd done consistently like your training had been like that way, and then it took a massive jump because you actually sorted out your sleep.
Yeah.
And I was saying to like my partner at the time, I was like, this guy has to be on the roids. Like the amount of the jump that it's just suddenly taken.
Hopefully, if I do go that route, I'm hoping that's going to happen again. Like
an extra little jump.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I remember just seeing it at first. I was just like, my God, I couldn't compete with that. So I already knew that I wasn't ever going to be like.
Well, there was so in the space of like, so I got the sleep test done, and then I got the machine a couple of weeks later, and I kid you not, that first day after the machine, I woke up and it's like the world was in HD. It sounds so ridiculous, and in the space of about 2 weeks, I gained about 6 kilos, and I didn't look any fatter, and like obviously it can't be muscle, psychological, whatever it was, but like my recovery just went like that. I felt like Superman. It was ridiculous. I don't know that. Do you know what people say about sleep being like the best? Like honestly, the difference was ridiculous.
Like the cortisol levels just like went to like a third of what they were.
Yeah. Well, because my resting heart rate when I was asleep was averaging like 140. So it's like I was training in my sleep. It's like this is actually going to kill me. Like my heart rate was hitting 220 whilst I was asleep. Like, it shouldn't be happening. And my partner had been going on about it for ages. I was like, no, it's fine. It's just because I'm heavy, because of my nose, because of whatever. And then eventually. It was because one of the guys that I work with, he got a test done, and he was like, I got a test done from this private company, it's like 150 quid. I was like, 150 quid is worth it to, one, say everything's fine, and two, to actually know, is it going to help?
Yeah.
Some of the best money I spent.
Luckily I've never had that issue, but if I get heavier, maybe.
So Alex was supposed to be, I think I already said, doing the competition in a few weeks. Last week he jumped from like 220 to like 265 or 270. So I've told him to do a middle jump. So they're doing 255. Very good.
Yeah, that's alright.
You just like stop ever so shy of lockout. Is it on purpose or does that feel locked out to you?
Yeah, feels like lockout. I think I just need to sell my lockouts a bit more as well.
I think it's because your overhand there, because you're quite like thick front to back. Is it your overhand or your underhand? Your underhand ends up like there, which is a bit further forwards, so it looks like you're not quite locked out. No, it is your overhand because it's your shoulder. Yeah, your overhand is there, so that doesn't look locked out compared to there.
Oh, right.
So it's your shoulders that look like you're like this.
Yeah.
When you probably are locked out.
Yeah, I think my partner was saying that she looks at the videos of me doing deadlifts and she's like, you got such a like lopsided deadlift.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, it looks like this.
Do you ever do any the other way around?
That's why.
Or even, have you ever done your double overhand max?
I've not done one, but the most I've done is like 200.
Jeez. That was 200 if you didn't hear him, internet people. I was going to suggest we shared bars, but nah. I ain't going anywhere near that heavy.
I'm gonna say I'm going down after this.
Yeah, but you're going down where it's still like 40 kilos above my weight.
I'm gonna steal it. If you're done, I'm stealing that colors.
I'm deadlifting next, but yeah, I'll take your collar. It don't matter.
I don't mind either way. I just like that it says Alistair on it.
Mine isn't training. Obviously it's training. Mine isn't heavy, so it doesn't matter. I say it's not heavy, like, it's heavy for me. Well, it is and it isn't, you know?
I'm gonna say that's where it becomes like strange seeing like your training on these videos,
Yeah.
like compared to mine, because like, or even like Eddie's and stuff, because your training is, it seems like you program a lot less for yourself because you recover.
I don't program for me.
Oh, well.
But there's like, there is, it's less just do this and more of a, I think you should do this, I think I should do this. But yeah, I do less, you're right. I can't do as much. So I have a really low exercise tolerance. So I adapt really well from not doing very much.
Yeah.
But that also means I get really fatigued from what I do. And not fatigued like being lazy, but like physically, yeah. I mean, granted, like if you look at this session on paper, it looks like a lot, but there isn't actually much of it that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get to eat a lot as well. Like, that's handy.
That's one of the main things I noticed from like getting close by you as well. I can actually eat a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think leading up to my first comp,
Yeah.
where I was doing like the cookie cutter program,
Yeah.
I was on about, I was trying to cut weight for it, so I was trying to be.
That's never a good idea.
So on comp day I got to 83.
Oh, wow.
Then I was on like maybe 2,000 calories.
Yeesh.
Now I'm like nearly 4,000.
It does make a difference though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. I feel like loads of that from it.
The other thing as well is, so it doesn't always look like it, but especially like with the way I train, everything is very intentional.
Yeah.
Like this is very intentionally being like quite elastic. The close grip bench, I do arch when I'm doing them to get the biggest range of motion. For the most part, during the reps, it's like 100% concentration just for the set and then relax. So even though it doesn't look like a lot, it feels like everything is like a max effort.
Yeah.
It's since I started with the velocity stuff, I think that's forced me to do that. Because you
can physically see if we've been like lazier in a set.
you objectively know that actually that wasn't an RPE8, that was an RPE6.
Yeah.
This is like the most ridiculous thing, but I find this before deadlifts, it helps a lot. Makes me feel like I need a bra. Cool. What do you mean?
Like weight wise, it's just starting to put, didn't you?
I was 96.7 this morning.
Nice.
So I was going to do this one at 93, which is why I had to do it. But now I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I'll just eat at what maintenance is,
Yeah.
roughly. And if my weight comes down, because it might, because I'm not actively pushing it, that's fine.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm doing the amount of volume needed for actual hypertrophy.
Yeah.
But then after this, I'll lose some weight. Get back to being a normal person. Right, this is your top set, yeah?
Yeah, top set.
You got this. Right. Remember to press start on it as well.
Oh, yeah.
275. 600 and something pounds. Come on, Alex. Big pull. Yes, yes, stick with it. Perfect. That's spot on. Happy 6?
Good at 10.
Nice work, man. That was really good.
I think I'm doing a bit better than last week, actually, because that's in my head.
Are you recovered enough to give me a lift?
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to go to that platform there with this. Thank you. What's your next weight now?
265.
Okay. Right, I'll do this so that then I can have your 25s. Well, I can't move it. It's too heavy. Even to roll, it's too heavy. Thank you. How many powerlifters does it take? Jesus. That's embarrassing. There'll be some like physics to how I'll have that.
Oh, you're good, you're good. There's another leather somewhere. Actually, I don't know what's done.
Like how many powerlifters does it take to change a light bulb?
To be fair, when I was leading up to my first comp, I was signed up to 2, and one of them was like was one of the like odd lifts.
Oh yeah.
Because I was just like, I kind of did it, and I was signed up for it because I was just like, oh, that sounds fun. I can kill a lot, so that'll be good.
Was it IAWA?
No, it was just a local gym.
Oh, okay.
Over at Pete.
Oh, it had cash prize, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, all the events seemed like fairly easy. They didn't end up doing it.
Yeah.
It was like a max
Important event.
bench for reps.
Yeah, good event. Yeah.
And then sandbag carry for, was it 70? No, it was 80 kilos for distance. As long as they just like keep running, it's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you know what? Well, I've probably said about this before. It's when people go to the toilet at any gym and they come back and they've still got chalk on their hands.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know why it's gross. Like, I always see it at like the public gym I usually train at, where they were like, I'll be in the toilets and I've got chalk on my hands and everything because ignore the rule about not having it, but I'll just see someone else just come in, then come straight back out, and I see them in the area using the same weights. I'm just like,
Oh.
I don't feel clean touching them.
I do really like, even training in my garage gym, to be fair, it doesn't matter where I'm training, the feeling of when you finish training and you wash your hands and that like grimy grey coloured water comes off. It's the best thing ever. Are you ready to go yet?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
No, I'm good to go.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, but you're staying at the same weight now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, so I can take this. Cool. I should have just been direct and said, can I have this? Yeah. Hey. If you wanted the normal music louder, just say it's because I text Ben and ask. Well, I asked Ben at the time to.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay.
I kind of like having my headphones on. It's better.
I like having it as a switch of like the background is like chilled, calm, relaxed. When it's time to lift, then go.
Yeah.
Like you don't need your heart rate to be up here the whole session.
No.
Especially not on an SBD day. Come on, come on, come on. Yes. You got veins on the back of your hamstring.
I say it's like that. I'm surprised how like lean I've stayed as I've like been getting weight.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, something that I think is really handy of having a coach is not hitting the panic button early.
Yeah.
Of like, because the first week or two you did gain a couple of kilos and it's so easy to be like, I was fat before, I don't want to. Oh, thank you. I do 175. So I'm trying to as well do warm-up jumps that I would when I'm competing.
Yeah.
So if it weren't for you using all the 25s, which is obviously not a problem, I would go one plate at a time. So I'm trying to get in the habit of those jumps. Because obviously at home, I've just got 20 kilo plates,
Yeah.
which do look better to be fair.
Yeah. The look of like really 20 just like for the longest time I did just have it as doing like particularly on bench but it's still like I didn't want to go to 25s because it looks good to have 3 plates on that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the day when I can do 160 in training.
Yeah.
Because I've not done it in training yet. I've done it on comp plates.
Yeah.
But like 3.5 plates, I just think it'll look cool. It's like a few years ago, I front squatted 180 just so that I could use the bumpers and be like, yeah, I've maxed out the bar on front squats.
I was gonna say like 3 plates in a complex is like so much more though because you have to get like what 175 at least.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, that's the thing as well. And once you start getting into it, then what your idea of the milestone lifts are changes, doesn't it?
yeah.
Because like it's a 220 deadlift, it's 5 plates,
Yeah.
then 260. But if you actually lift on plates, it's 225 and then 275, which is quite a difference. Because even 300 on comp plates, it doesn't look that good, does it?
No, it's like
It's
because of the 2.5 you end up with like lots of little
Yep.
new ones.
Exactly. So 305 is 5 reds, a yellow, and the collars. That looks quite cool.
Yeah.
So that's at the last competition. I was torn between 272 and 275. As 275 is 5 reds.
Yeah.
But then I was also like, I don't know if I can do 275. So like, whereas this,
Looks cool, I can do it.
That's the thing, like, that is the downside of handling yourself, of making poor decisions. Right. What am I doing? This is a warm-up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fine. I sometimes like forget about what weights are heavy and aren't heavy anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I still, in my mind, on bench, 100 is still heavy, but obviously it's not. Like, it's not a high percent.
Actually, like, load it up and it's like, oh, it's alright.
Yeah. Nice. You alright? Is that your second at that weight?
Yeah, no, I got that.
What are you down to?
250. That's not bad.
I would, if it was just me.
I'm just going to use the colour.
Yeah.
Different colours.
That's literally it. Like, at this point in the session, that's not making any difference. I think I've done the plate maths wrong again. That is 200. Collars is 205. I need 12. Yeah. I put away the plates I need again. Keep doing that. So that's the thing as well. Squatting whatever feels easier than deadlifting it.
I can get behind that because, like, for me, I feel like I could walk out a lot more than I can actually squat.
Right. See, I find the walkout on the squat the hardest bit.
It's like, I feel like I could easily, like, walk out like 400.
Jesus.
Not 400.
You've said it now. As soon as the comp's done, your session's going to be walk out one by one, 400.
But no,
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah, you know, the important bit. See, because I competed in the comp, in a BPU comp last year, so it's with a monolift. I did explain why I competed in that in these, but it's easier. It's better if I don't keep repeating it, so people have to go back and find the exact video. But you know, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I was looking at monolift attachments and stuff, and then it kind of dawned on me one day. I was like, I'm not doing powerlifting to be the best powerlifter. I'm doing powerlifting to be strong, to compete in being strong. The only reason I'm not doing strongman is because my gym, I didn't have the stuff I needed.
Yeah.
And also, powerlifting is easier to fit around other stuff.
Yeah.
That's the main reasons. So then I was like, I shouldn't be using a monolift to get around that being hard.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I think I started powerlifting because it's easy to do anywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Any gym, you can go and train.
has a bar, so.
Yeah. Even if the kit's not good, you can still train.
Yeah.
It's bodybuilding with a purpose.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I tried. I had the thought, I was like, well, you start out training, and then you just like, for whatever, you had a separate reason because you also supplementing judo, but most people are just like, I want to look good, do bodybuilding, whatever.
Yeah.
And then as I was like, benching a lot feels good.
Yeah, it's like feels rewarding.
Yeah. So then I was like, oh, if I want to get into more strength, maybe I should do like strongman. But then it's just like where I was like Bradford.
Yeah.
Those gyms are few and far between.
Oh, really?
It's like when I went home for a bit, I was just like trying to find a gym that has like decent equipment. Most of them are just like exclusive clubs. So
Oh, I see. So you can't turn up unless you're like being coached or whatever.
yeah, you can't turn up unless you're like have a membership for a year, and then you have to do like an interview with the person to get that. Yeah.
Wow.
Because they're so used to like usual clientele like breaking a lot of equipment. So.
That makes sense. To be fair, one vanity thing I do like is I do like going to gyms that I've not been to before, and the amount of people who will ask me if I need a spot, I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm still warming up. This is fine. Like, especially the first few sessions at the bodybuilding gym. Like, I'd have 180 on, and people wouldn't not even like be subtle about it. They would just stop what they were doing and watch. And obviously 180 is a warm-up weight, and then you put 220 on. It's just like, but it's because I'm a small guy. Like I know obviously you're bigger than me, but you're still like, you're not some giant unit.
It still looks impressive to lifting more.
And especially on the plates that are real thick.
Yeah.
Have you got another single?
I do, but I've got a bit more warm-up. So, not more. I've got a bit
Sure, I'll lift, yeah. That feels harder than the squats did. But I know if I watch it back, it moved.
It'll look good,
Yeah. But yeah, the other day when I was doing the eccentric squats, there was 3 youngish, like they could have been like anywhere from 16 to 20. You know, like stick thin. The 3 of them all around the pec fly machine, all like trying to do more. And like I was watching because I was resting for ages. I was like, it makes me happy to see that. But they weren't subtle at all. So I did the 180, and then I finished it, re-racked it, and in the background of one of the videos actually, you can see one of the lads' face. He gets off the thing and sees me putting another plate on. So I think putting an extra 15 on to make it 210, and he goes, and he grabs his friend. And I was just like, oh, I love it so much. It is definitely a vanity thing, but it's just like, because I remember I would have been like that when I was that age. It's like, wow, like.
I do remember like when I was real young, like getting into the gym and like so like 16 years old, just seeing like some of the absolute massive bodybuilders.
Yes.
And like they were like reasonably strong as well. I saw some guy like doing like some cheat hammer curls.
Yeah.
Like the 50s.
Jesus.
And I remember just being like absolutely astonished. That,
Yeah.
Like, he's not only like able to lift them even, but he's just like throwing
Just
them up.
yeah. One of the best things that's happened in there so far, from my perspective, is the real skinny guy. I spoke to him once. He was doing curls. I was using 6s for incline curls, and he was using 14s. And his arm was as thick as my wrist is. And I saw him watching me, and then every time we caught eye contact, he'd look away. So I was like, do you want a hand? And he's like, oh yeah, if you don't mind. So I helped him out with that. He then was using like the 6s as well. I was at the end of the session, he was at the beginning, but like fine. That was like a nice thing of help this guy. I saw him another day, he was dumbbell pressing, and he had like the 30s. I went to start dumbbell pressing, and I picked up the 20s, and I was obviously doing full reps. And I saw him, he was looking at me, he put the 30s back, he picked up the 12s, and he started doing full reps. And I was like, yes! Like, I don't know if he just done it because I'm there or not, but I was like, I feel like I'm getting through to someone. That made me really happy.
I guess I saw like my, sending you the videos of me initially doing dumbbell press, and you just being like, no. And then actually starting to do full ROM, like, and now getting like closer to actually like the same weight, so like.
And it looks so much more impressive.
Yeah, like, and I can actually feel it a lot more because I remember Because you're always just like, the standard form is just like stopping like half a mile off your chest.
Yeah. Even like with the bigger dumbbells, you can't always get all the way because they're so big. You have to make an effort to come wider, which makes it like so much harder because it becomes almost fly-like. But you can still, you'll get too strong for dumbbells soon, for dumbbell presses.
I mean, yeah, I'm already having that issue of like trying to get like a
It'll
55.
be getting them up is the problem.
Yeah, like I got like last time you had me on flats, I got up to like 55, and then I have to like make an awkward setup of using like elastic bands to put like 2.5s on.
Yeah, which is not ideal.
Then part of me is like doing the rep and slightly worrying. I'm like, I hope this elastic band doesn't whack in your face.
You could wear like wrist weights or
Like,
something.
wrap around.
Yeah. Genuinely, like that could actually be a thing. Are you doing a set?
Yeah, I'll do my set. And then I'm done. So, well, I've got
And you got abs,
jumps.
box jumps. Oh, actually, that'd be a good. Whilst we're here, I'll just go through those other few. Anything you're not sure of?
Oh, yeah.
Any of the box jumps and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say because I don't actually know what to do them. So.
Cool. After you. Getting late. I heard that. So Rach and I, we met, we were both working at the same gym, but like we were actually friends first because I was completely oblivious to that she was interested in me, and I was just like, this is just a job whilst I'm doing my dissertation, like I wasn't paying any attention. There was one day when I was training with her, a guy I lived with at the time, I had big headphones on, I was doing an AMRAP on deadlift. Every rep, I was fine, but I was like proper in the zone. Like I did not know this was happening. And then the two of them were like wetting themselves laughing. I was like, what are you talking about? Just watch the video back. Every rep. It's funny. That felt horrible.
You do hook grip as well, so I can't imagine how much worse it is. Or are the nerves in your thumbs dead by this point?
They're not dead now because I'm only deadlifting with a hook grip once a week.
Oh, okay.
So they've got time to like come back to it. Have I done? Do you know if I've done 2 or 3? I think I've only done 2, just 2. Ah, what a loser! I should have done more. I've got one more then. Then Jefferson curls, then I'm done. Jefferson curls are great to do in commercial gyms as well.
Oh, yeah. Because everyone looks at you and gets like,
What are you doing? Yeah.
my favourite exercise in commercial gym for everyone who's looking at you like you're weird is pin squats.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because everyone just looks at you like, this person's not hitting depth and
Like
their safety's too high.
I don't think many people will notice that you're not hitting depth, to be fair, in a normal gym. I don't think anyone else is thinking about that.
Yeah.
There was one day here where I caught my finger between some, yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. I will say whenever I've trained, I've done this a couple of times of just like when I've been doing squats of people trying to compete with you. Like
Yeah.
if you start at the same time. So and you just like you quickly notice that their range is stopping a lot shorter.
Yeah. That's the thing as well, like, for any accessory, for squat, bench, deadlift, like, just do it to the minimum rule requirements. for any accessories, you want the most out of the least, otherwise it's making more work.
Yeah.
Do you know, like when you leg press, you have to put on so much weight if you're only doing half a rep. Like, it's easier to just do less weight for the full rep, and it's better for you. Like, you spend more time actually training instead of
Loading up like a million
yeah.
weights in it. That's like the hard part about getting strong that no one mentions, of just like you have to put away all of your weights as soon as you finish.
I do really like it in here and obviously at home. I've been thinking about taking a second barbell home for this reason, which I realise is like a proper lazy thing, of the thing that we've done today of like keeping the weights out on one place so you can put it onto the next. But obviously in the commercial gym, can't do that.
Can't do it.
And the session was squat, deadlift, split squat, stiff leg deadlift. So it's backwards and forwards, taking all the plates off every time. It just adds extra time, whereas if I was doing that here or at home, I'd just get 2 bars out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that I've done like, in the other gym I do it of trying to make it as, because they've got a lot of them that are set up on the squat racks, like racks themselves. So I do a lot of flipping it over, so there's like 325s and then just like leaving a 2.5 on the bottom. And then just kind of like
it's easier to
stoning it up into them.
Alright, last one. Put some oomph into this, maybe, possibly. I noticed you didn't put chalk on very often. You just put it on once and that was it.
Twice. I put it on for the top set and then for my second at
So
360.
look how fat my palms are and little my fingers are. That's my excuse anyway. So I was talking to Rich about this the other day of I'm doing a bit more hangs and I'm trying to hold these reps for a couple of seconds because I know my grip is bad. So like if I get to the competition and it takes say a 275 pull, big conventional PB, if I miss it because of hamstring strength or back strength or glute strength, I'm okay with that. If I miss it because of grip, because I pulled 290 before, I'm like, that's 100% my fault. I could have controlled that. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously to a certain extent, but like if I start using straps now because my thumbs are like uncomfortable, I'll know. And then at the competition, it didn't really, and these people will know. They were, I just don't put it in the video, it's fine. Yeah. Edit it out, just edit the blue of the straps out so you can't see them. Yeah. Will you do me a favour? When I get to the top, will you do me a 3, 2, 1 down? But like, be mean with the 3, 2, 1, as in holding it at the top.
Yeah, that's fine. 3, 2, 1.
That was mean. I could feel my thumbs falling off. Like, why do you hate me so much?
I gave you a free Mississippi.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you. When Rach was counting for me the other day, it was 5 count eccentric, but when I started, she was going 1. It's like start at 0, and then the next one she was like 0, 1. It's like dear God. Well, I think it was 130 as well, so like heavy for me. Yeah. Right. Jefferson curls, fantastic. What are you doing now? Right, for the box jumps, I wouldn't use them because they're not solid either. You see over there, them boxes, the biggest one of them, get one of them out. You are? It's not. So literally, all you're going to do, if you can fit your feet in it, is you're going to jump onto there, but you're going to jump as high as possible.
High as possible and try and land on there.
Yeah, and when you land. So, like, maybe that's not great. You could do something flat. my feet are smaller than yours, and if I'm hitting... I mean, if one of these is solid, then you could. Yeah, that'd be all right. So when you do it, try and land really soft.
Okay.
So jump as high as, like, high as possible, real soft landing. Yeah. So imagine you're going to jump up really high. What I don't want you to be doing is get higher and higher boxes, and instead of just jumping high, pulling your hips up, it's about the power of going up.
Okay.
So imagine you're going to jump up to real high height.
It's like trying to, rather than trying to get my feet as high as possible, just more like actual vertical height.
Actual vertical height, yeah. So if you had something that you could jump up and touch, that would be potentially better. The reason you're not doing that is because however high you jump up, you've got that much impact coming down.
Yeah.
Whereas with the box, you're not coming down as far and you're absorbing the impact.
Yeah.
Does that make some kind of sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Cool. Oh, you can still see him. Awesome. Yeah. You're basically in this whole thing.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't know how much it costs to buy another mic. I'll have a look at my budget and see if I need to.
For cameos.
Yeah. See if I need to make my accounts look better. I think that would actually be quite cool. Of when I do train with people, to mic them up as well.
Yeah, I mean,
It'd be different at least.
I imagine you can still hear it somewhat, but
You definitely can with the music down in here. I've got I think it's called a shotgun mic, where it's like pointing in a single direction.
yeah.
But the problem is if you're outside of that, it's just going to pick that up. And the little bit that I do know about YouTube is the music that's copyrighted.
I mean, that's only a thing if you've got actual monetization.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't think I hit whatever the criteria for that is.
So, if your videos are monetized, they can be taken down and struck, but if they're not...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to pay me for these. Do you know what the criteria is? Is it 1,000 subscribers?
I think it's off of... I don't know. I think it might be view time.
View time. Ah. So I think I've got like about 800 subscribers, which is a surprise because it was only at like, I think I already had about 100 when I started doing these. So that's increased quite a lot, obviously. Yeah, I would have thought it's an exponential thing because if one person likes something, someone else will probably like it, and then it's just getting more of those kinds of people. But I guess if it's the thing you said of YouTube needs to know that it's consistent, so it can give it to the same people, you know, to like test it out essentially.
Yeah.
It's just split testing, isn't it?
Like pretty much that's like majority of getting to the algorithm.
Yeah. So Instagram is fairly simple. It depends on what I want the post to do as to what format is best. So if I want the post to be seen by more people, make a reel of a big lift.
Yeah.
That's it. If I want a post to actually have conversations with people that are potential customers, I make something with a written out explanation.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it from like the bench thing I put up the other day. You can see a bunch of people that commented on it asking for help.
Yeah. So it's like, what are you doing for Jeff? How much?
Just the bar, probably. So some of the accessory stuff, the closer to the competition, I'm doing all the random accessory muscles with like a super low intensity, just so that I don't get in a position that I've not actually been in. And I just do squat, bench, deadlift, and then end up like bending over funny when I'm picking up plates or something. So just a couple of sets of like 20 kilos. It's more like a stretch.
Yeah.
So do you know like the hip abductor and adductor machines?
Yeah.
Like I do them at the end of my other session, even though it's not going to be. Have we done something wrong here?
Potentially.
Yeah, we've got a plate out. Oh no. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's space now. How many box jumps have you got?
5 sets of 2.
Okay. Best crack on.
Yeah.
Been here for 2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah, like 3 of it.
Lots of talking though, to be fair. Good. Try land quieter. That's it. Yeah, but you need to keep it explosive.
Yeah.
So have a minimum of a minute rest, because you'll feel like you can just keep going all day. But if you're not actively, yeah. These do feel good after deadlifting as well. Yeah. I have trained them heavy in the past. I think I got up to 100 for 10. But yeah, all the odd movements that, like, if you weren't going to compete, would be a good idea. Like split squats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, they're a great accessory anyway, so we do lots of them. You alright? Stomach sound? Okay. Just had a weird sound. That's it.
Landed here.
So do you know, like, the eccentrics, the isometrics and stuff like that? It comes from a system called triphasic system, which is from a guy called Cal Dietz, who's an American strength and conditioning coach, which that all comes from, like, Eastern Bloc, Russian, as all these things often do. Anyway, it doesn't apply to powerlifting when people, like, maximize their leverages and have, like, small range of motion stuff. It only really works when you lift athletically. It's like big range of motion squat, decent bench. Same for deadlifts. Like, if you're going full stance sumo deadlifts, you don't have time to do an eccentric. It's not the same. That's about wedging your body into the most mechanically efficient position. So, like, if someone was a sumo puller, it's a bit pointless. Whereas for you, with being a conventional puller, it's more of an athletic. I realise athletic is a broad term, but I think you know what I mean anyway. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, like, I mean, it's been like, I think I've got the same opinion of, like, the powerlifts as you, for that perspective. Just like, I don't want to have, not that I'm flexible enough to do it, but
Yeah.
I don't want to have just like a massive arch or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
or like absolutely maxing my leverages, because I'm just more interested in actually being generally strong.
Yeah, so that's the thing that I do go backwards and forwards on. So I think there's a difference between being the best powerlifter and the strongest powerlifter.
Yeah.
Of course. So, like you say, maximising your leverages will make you a better powerlifter.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you stronger, and it depends on why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And, like, so to be fair, for the way you're built, I think you're built to do conventional anyway. I don't know that sumo would be that good for you.
Well, it was like, because I read that the paper that was like about biomechanically, like they had like set ranges for people based on like limb lengths.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm like bog standard down right in the middle of just like, you could do conventional or sumo.
Right.
So I was just like, whichever one's easier, I guess. I mean, reps are easier on sumo, but then conventional's more overloaded.
Something that also is a factor in me doing conventional of sumo is I want to spend more time travelling, which sounds ridiculous, but not just travelling abroad, but to other gyms.
Yeah.
Not every gym can you sumo deadlift on because slippery platforms are stupid. I know that's such a stupid thing. Like, there's never a gym where you can't do a conventional even if you have to Romanian deadlift it because you can't drop weights or whatever. But, like, saying here, where would you sumo deadlift? Because that's slippery. This, I'd be half and half on and off this. The carpet, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a makeshift solution. Not every gym will have that.
Yeah, true.
So that's another thing. And the same with the bench. So I understand the weights you're lifting, but if you always rely on handout, then you can't train anywhere.
Yeah.
Granted, I know you train with your girlfriend a lot of the time, so she can help you, and you train in the busiest gym usually, so you can get it. But stuff like that of not relying on other people.
Yeah, it's one of those things I need to get better at, definitely, because like I know that if I do a self handout, I'm just like, because I'm not used to it, I'll just be there and like wobble into position.
Yeah.
Have to like stabilize.
But then with all that said, when you're peaking for a competition, I think you should do everything you can to do the best you can at the competition.
Yeah.
So then it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like a conflicting view, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like, I think it would be better if we also included an overhead press and a pull-up or something.
Yeah.
To round out the power, to round out the being strong.
Yeah.
Although maybe not overhead press because I'm so bad at it.
But then overhead press is like you run into the Olympic issue.
Yeah.
Like, everyone doing like the weird bench press, like the bench
Yeah,
press,
it's
like,
basically a standing incline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't concentrate, and then I was starting to think about what do I need to put away. At the end of that set, I was like, no, think about what you're doing. Just looking around, like, what have I left out? So this is the other thing as well of why I don't want to be peaking all the time. It's just it takes so long to train. Yeah. I mean, we could have moved through this faster, to be fair. Yeah. Better to be safe. That one was good, but just overcooked it a little. What's for tea?
spike ball.
Oh, nice.
So pretty decent.
Yeah. Before I came here, I had steak, potatoes, and asparagus, and I've been wanting that all week for some reason, but I just haven't had. I definitely have had time. I haven't made time to have something like that. It was so good, but I'd eaten most of the steak by the time the potatoes were cooked.
I mean, I'm probably going to eat a bit less today and tomorrow because I know that I'm going actually on Tuesday.
Oh, nice. Where are you off?
I feel like place down in Hull, like the Brazilian charcuterie.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's on the dock.
Yeah.
It's nice there.
Yeah, it's real nice, but I know that I'm just going to have no self-control and just like...
You need to maximize your price.
Yeah.
Like, because you just pay like a single fee, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went there.
I always find that I go with a partner and because they have the system of just like, it's like green, you can give me like more meat, that's fine. And then red's stop.
Yeah.
It always stops like in a good like 20 minutes in and I'm still there like for an hour.
Just keeping going, getting the most.
Still getting more.
We went to one like that in Beverley the other week.
Is it like, oh yeah, I know the place, yeah.
It's like on the corner of the marketplace.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I'd missed like the meal before that I would have normally had, because I was like, I fancy like getting some dessert or something, and given we're going out, like when we get home, if I've not had enough protein, I'll just down a shake or whatever. That was great. And something that I did not expect to like so much, they had at the end pineapple with cinnamon, yes, pineapple and cinnamon. I must have eaten a full pineapple. I was so surprised. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. It sounds a bit weird. And then like before, do you know like they do their rounds? Excuse me, sir, senor. I'll have one, please. It's like, I'm Brazilian, not Spanish.
I was like literally there for like, I think the last time I went, I was there for an hour. It's bad, but I always get like, when it becomes an all-you-can-eat thing, it becomes in my head.
It's like a personal challenge.
How much money can I get? How much work can I get?
And the other thing is, people go into the salad bars. I'm like, that's not what you're paying for. Or the place you're going, they had smoked salmon at the salad bar the last time I went. So like, I'd be getting on that.
I was just like, I think I went to like a Japanese place that was in Leeds, and it was, my father keeps telling me about it because I walked away from it just like having eaten so much that I was like, sort of like waddling
Physically
out.
ill.
Physically ill. And she's just like, why have you done this to yourself? I was like, it's worth it.
You have to, yeah. Yeah, I love all you can eat stuff. Anyway, YouTube people, that's the end of the video. Bye.